Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me today. So this is how you make the train from my new all aboard die set. Now this was released as part of one of my Christmas collections, the toy box collection, and I'm really excited about this one. So this one is coming out a little bit later than the rest because my original video was corrupt and it has taken me a little while to get myself together to get this one put together. So you're going to be needing some royal blue cardstock. I'm using Centura Pearl, and also some red sparkly card. I'm going to try my best to list everything down below, and I have some black card there and also some green and some matte gold mirror cardstock as well. So here is the die set. You get 33 dies in the set. Now this one there, that was your main die, and then we have the lid, and then all of those we'll be using throughout the tutorial. So I've taken out the two main dies that we're going to be using today. So this is a lovely new cardstock that I have in my collection. Now this one's called Royal Blue. It's from Centura Pearl from Crafter's Companion, and I love the way this die cuts. And I'm also trying out a new setup as well today. So I have a brand new magnetic shim for my Gemini. So it's got a grid on it, so I'm going to be using this a little bit differently to how I normally use it. So I'm just showing you here how to lay out the dies. If you have them that way, it's not going to fit, but if you twist them, you can get two of those, and then there's little leftover bits of the card there. Okay, so here is my sandwich, my cutting plate at the bottom, plastic shim, magnetic shim. Pop your dies facing upwards, and I'm using the grid there to help guide me. And there's the lid there. So now cardstock face down, and then the top cutting plate. Right, so that's run through and cut out really nicely. Okay, so now we're ready to start folding and scoring. So I'm just showing you here, you also get all of these rectangles and squares there for all the mats as well, because this large main box you can trim down, and I'll be showing you how to do that in just a moment. And we also have a teeny tiny little die there for the mat for the lid. So use a bone folder as well, just to get some really nice neat folded scores. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly show you. This die here has these little notches here. Now those are guidelines to show you where you need to trim down this box. So to make the main box, you need one of these full-size boxes, and then the one at the front is just a shortened version, so you'd cut that down, and then that will give you the smaller box. And again, these boxes can be used as individual gift boxes too. Okay, so that's the main part of the train at the back, and then we have the smaller one at the front. So I'm hoping this is now making sense for you guys. So what am I doing? I'm getting the mats now. So I'm going to add all of these mats whilst it's all flat. You can add the mats once it's put together, but it all depends on how you like to work. So I'm using Cosmic Shimmer wet glue for this. This one dries clear, and it also dries nice and fast as well, so it is good for your 3D makes, and also for adding your mats too. Okay, so now we're ready to glue these two together. So what you need to do is keep the lids on when we glue these two together, just so that you have that space there to remove both of the lids whilst they're joined together. So I'm just adding glue to the bottom part of that box, and then lining everything up nice and straight, and then pressing together. And then I'm going to pop that aside, and then we can move on to the next stage. So I've got these 2 strips here. Now these go around the bottom of the train. It adds the shape for the wheels, and it also holds the box together nicely as well. And these do come with individual mats. As you can see, they are opposites of each other. They're mirrored images, so you get a die for each side. So all we have to do now is just glue those together, and I think possibly the hardest part here is just choosing what kind of colour combinations that you are going to go for. I've kind of stayed with the traditional sort of blue and red. My son is really going to like this one, but you can go for a lovely like glossy black cardstock to make a nice black train. That would look like the name keeps escaping me, it will come to me, but anyway, the Flying Scotsman, that's the one. You can go for a lovely green as well, that would look really nice. And again, if you want to go for golds and shimmering pinks and silvers, you can make a whole bunch of different sort of trains. It all depends on who you're giving this to as well, so you can really personalise it. You can put their initial on the front, you can add numbers, you can have a whole load of fun in decorating it for whoever you're giving it to. Okay, so this is how we do this part. So if you can see on the bottom there, that small pointy bit at the front is at the front, and then we have the larger round bit at the back at the top, so it should be in that orientation. And then here we have one of the wheels there. You can either pop it on the top, but it really should be underneath, but I think I do prefer to kind of see everything, and it adds that decoration as well. It adds the focal points. So I'm going to be gluing my wheel on the top. Okay, so our train is really coming together now, so now to work on the wheels. Now, one layer of a wheel is quite thin, so if you want to put like treats, chocolates, I would possibly do 2 or 3 layers. So I'm just going through everything here that I've die cut out in preparation and taking the bits I need. So I've got my 2 wheels there, I've got 4 little wheels, and then the rods for the wheels as well, and I'm going to pop away the rest to work with later. Oh, I need the grill as well. Now, I can't remember the name for that bit that goes on the front, so I should know it because my son is an expert, so I should already know that one. So here I'm just testing to see where to glue the wheel in order to keep my train straight. So where I'm adding the glue here, it will be the same for how you add yours as well. So there is a horizontal line through the centre there. That is our guide point. That needs to line up with the bottom of the train. If you do that, then you will have a nice level train. And here I am just showing you that if you double up or triple up your wheels, it will make them super strong, so you can add some chocolates in there too. If you're not going to have anything in your train, it's just for decorative purposes, you don't really need to add the extra layers. So here I am just adding all of these extra wheels, and then I'll be adding on the rods. Okay, so our train is really designed to look like a train now. And here we are, we're going to pop this on the front there. So that has a score line, you just need to fold that upwards and then pop that on there. Or you could pop it on the top of the lid there, it depends where you want it. I prefer it on the bottom section. Again, this would look really good if you had this die cut from gold or silver mirror stock as well, but I'm just keeping it very simple today. And here we have that extra grill there. You can pop that anywhere you want really. So I'm going to pop mine on the front. You can pop another one on the back if you want to. And I'm just going to add glue to the top section there because that's going on the lid, which needs to move on and off. And there we go. Looking like a train. And you also get in the die set a wreath, and you also get a die that's going to cut out bowels as well, so you can really make your train festive. So you can choose where you want to add that. And here I have some Nouveau glitter drops. I think these ones are called Ruby Slipper, and this die embosses as well, so there is a few bits of holly and berry details in there too, so you can just add your little drops of glitter there. And then I'm going to set those aside to dry. Okay, so now we're going to work on the funnel. Now this is small and a little bit fiddly, so the easiest way I have found to put this together is to use red line tape. Okay, so you need to cut 4 circles. You get 2 sizes here. You've got 2 smaller ones and 2 larger ones, and really you only need to cut 1 of the smaller ones, but I do always like to just cut 2 out just in case. So we're going to be working on the base first, so just fold over all of those little teeth there, and then on the folded edge, so the outside edge, add your tape, and then use your bone folder just to press that down really well, and then use your bone folder again to curve it. Okay, so grabbing the smallest of the circles, I'm having the teeth on the inside of that circle. That is going to give us the smaller base. And we're going to do the opposite on the lid, and that is what is going to help the lid be the right size in order to go on top of the funnel there. So I'm just adding some glue. I should have used red tape for this because it can get a little bit messy. Okay, that's the base done. And now let's work on the lid. If you want, you can add the extra circle there on the bottom. Not completely necessary. Okay, so let's fold all of these down now for the lid. I'm just going to quickly grab the die to show you. We're going to trim this down. There's those 2 little notches again, and those are your guidelines in trimming that down. If you want a larger lip on the lid, just ignore those little notches and make it larger. So on this one, I'm adding the red tape on the inside of the teeth. Again, press those down nicely. I'm just going to add a little bit of tape here, and I'll add some more again at the end as well. This bit was really fiddly to get that bit off. So it's all fun and games here. We'll get there in the end. Okay, so grab your largest of the circles there, and we're going to wrap this around with the teeth on the outside. I'll show you in a moment. There we go. The teeth are on the outside, and that is going to create a larger circle that will go over the base nicely. So I'm just going to add a little bit more tape there. Again, I have tried to put this together with wet glue, and I've tried it with hot glue, and using the red tape was the easiest, the fastest, and the less messiest. So definitely go for the red tape. Okay, that's all put together now. So now we have the exposed. Let's just test it first. That fits on perfectly, and now we have an exposed top there with all the teeth on the top, we're going to use the largest of the circles just to cover that up and hide it. Okay, and now we're ready to glue that onto our train. So that is where I'm going to have mine, just there. Now this little funnel here, it really reminds me, if you remember them, the camera films that you used to get for the 35mm cameras. You know, those little black pots with the white lids. Sometimes they had black lids too, to pop the film in. If you remember that, give me a thumbs up, comment down if you remember those cameras. Okay, so here is our train. I have added a ladder, and there's loads of different windows and doors and embellishments in the die kit that you can choose from to decorate your box. So I'm just showing you all of the gift box here. I'm being super careful now because my Nuvo drops are still a little bit wet. So you've got 3 little compartments in the main train, and I've made a smaller version of the compartment there for the tender. The tender is a bit that carries the coal. Obviously we have a steam train, and here I have 2 carriages. I have 2 of the larger boxes stuck together, and I've used some little foam pads for that one to glue those together, and I've decorated them with the bows, and we have 2 large compartments there to pop some treats in, and again I've got the windows around the sides as well. Okay, so that is the all aboard train. Give me a thumbs up if you like this one, and I'll see you again very soon.